Welcome to your Metal Yin practice, a practice where we focus on the season of autumn, the season of letting go, just like trees let go the leaves and prepare themselves for winter sleep. The season of autumn is connected to the front and the back of the shoulders and the arms, connected to the meridians of the lungs and the large intestines. And lungs is about communicating the inner and the outer world, just as we breathe. And the large intestines are about letting go what is not needed anymore. So those intentions you can take with you throughout your practice here if you like. Make sure you find a place for yourself for this moment of self-care. I always have 2 meditation pillows, 2 blocks, and that large bolster for practice. So make sure you have all to support your body in every pose. And we will start seated today. Seated for a breath meditation, a Chandra breath meditation, where we will focus on calming down the nervous system. As you found your seat, use your right hand to guide your index finger and your middle finger onto that place on your forehead in a way that you can close your nostril either with your thumb or with your ring finger. You had the both placed onto your forehead. First, take a deep breath in and fully out through both nostrils. Well, let's do that a few more rounds first. As I'm recording this video outside, it smells so good here. Soaking up the pine tree smell. All right, one more inhale through both nose and exhale through both. And then close your right side with your finger. And then inhale through the left. At the end of your inhale, close your left nostril and exhale through the right. Closed. Right again, inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale left. Close the left, exhale right. Breathe in left. Breathe, excuse me. Breathe out right. Breathe in left. Breathe out right. Continue for a few rounds. We invite more yin energy in with this Chandra meditation. Chandra stands for moon, and the moon is connected to the yin. With every inhale we breathe, we focus on the energy of the lung meridian. And as we exhale, we let go of what we do not need anymore, guiding attention towards the large intestine meridian. A few more rounds. Maybe deepen your breath slightly. And then exhale lastly again through the right side, and then gently let your right arm go. Take a breath in through both nostrils again. And fully out. Explore the present moment, your energy level, the quality of your mind, the quality of your breath. And let's start with the poses. First one is child's pose. You have the option here to use some props, either in between the heels and the hips to support the hips or to support the belly. You can bring the knees together or flare them open so there is more space towards the chest. I love to support my spine here, bringing the long bolster on either blocks or meditation pillows so I can scoop my arms under and I can really allow my shoulders to rest. So wherever you found your child's pose, allow a place where your shoulders and your arms can really, really rest. Here you will feel more soft opening at the back side. If you are without the props, you might feel a little bit more opening at the front of your shoulders and your armpits. Take a moment to decide what feels good for this practice today for you. Take all the time you need to arrive in that pose. And to also know that that choice is never permanent. So if throughout the practice, throughout the hold of this pose, you'd like to change, feel free to change. Observe how your body arrives in the shape. Notice how your body is supported by props, by the earth underneath you. And can you allow yourself to soften the muscles, soften the breath, to really harvest today's practice, to harvest this rest, to take this moment to connect with what is present in the body. To notice what the body is communicating to you. And as you allow your body to arrive, also take all the time to let the breath arrive, let your thoughts arrive, and perhaps any emotion that bubbles up. Invite in all layers of you. And that might take your whole practice, and that is okay. Find one last breath here in your child's pose. And take all your time. Really go slow to bring yourself out. Use your hands to guide your upper body back up. Maybe you'd like to sit up here for a moment. Discover the breath. And we keep the legs the same for the next two shapes. We move the props towards the side. Come up on your hands and knees. Let's do a few rounds of cat-cow to create some movement in the spine. Take it very slow and gentle. As you breathe in, open up the front of your body, drawing the belly down, chest up. And as you exhale, scoop your navel in, tuck your tailbone under, relax your head. Two more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And to use your inhale to come back to center, to bring the weight onto your left hand. And then gently, on your exhale, walk your right arm underneath your left. Guide your right shoulder, your right cheek onto the floor. Thread the needle. And here you have the option to bring your left arm towards the front, or maybe bring your left arm up and over. So you not only feel the stretch over the back of your right arm, your right shoulder, but also the front of the left. Hips can go up or down. Choose your option here. For some of us, a block or a prop underneath the head can help to soften around the neck. And again, no choice is permanent, so you can always decide to move a bit into either of the arms or into the hips. And while you're here, allow yourself to arrive in softness again. exploring the edge of the stretch and how you can soften there with the breath. And take one conscious inhale and exhale here. Wherever your left hand is, guide it back underneath your left shoulder. And use the strength of your left arm to bring yourself back into your all fours. You decide whether you'd like a child's pose for a few breaths to neutralize the spine, or maybe subtle movements again, subtle cat-cow movement, or any movement. Follow the impulse of your body before we move on to the other side. And guide yourself back into your all fours. Bring the weight this time completely on your right hand. And then scoop the left arm underneath towards the right side of your mat. This time your left shoulder, your left cheek come down. Use a prop maybe underneath your head. And again, every position of your right arm, your hips are welcome, as long as you focus on the outside, the back of your left arm, your left shoulder, and maybe the front of your right. Some poses during a yin practice can be confrontational. The mind loves to run away from confrontation. But here with yin, we practice how we can soften there, how we can take a step back and observe what happens. Do not find it scary or frightening, but rather interesting, exploring it with curiosity and compassion. What is that pose trying to tell you? And using the breath while observing. Staying aware. And to notice every inhale and exhale. One more final round of your breath. And guide your right hand underneath your right shoulder again. And slowly lift yourself back up onto your all fours. And again, you decide whether you find some movement, some cat-cow movement, or a child's pose in between. This important time in between the poses to really discover the sensations without immediately going into action, to give it rest, to give it time, to give it space. And then come to sit onto your hips and turn yourself onto the mat like I am sitting right now. And what I have is my legs in two 90-degree angles, and with my right front thigh towards the edge of the mat. We will go into a side stretch for the body to elongate over the left side. Bring a long pillow, a bolster, a little bit in front of your right leg. And we're gonna fold over that bolster. So what happens with your left knee is it might pop up a little bit. You can bring maybe a block underneath it for support. And as we were gonna fold, maybe also support for your head. Take your time to set your pose here. I will show you. You fold over the bolster, leave the right arm to rest, maybe your head onto the pillow, and then guide your left arm overhead for the stretch over the side here. Take your time to arrive, to wiggle a bit with the bolsters as I set the timer for us. Make it as comfortable as possible while you focus on that stretch over the left side. Your left armpit. Arrive again with the breath. Letting go as much muscle tension as you can allow yourself today with the help of your exhale. Allow the props to support you so you can let go. And letting go does not mean that you need to get rid of something. I always visualize like leaves. As the tree lets go, let go leaves. They not fade. They are not gone, but the leaves are soil. Soil to use for the trees to bloom again in spring. So all the quality, all the information of those leaves that the tree let go are such a beautiful support for the future of the tree. There is always something to learn, something to look back at. That's how we grow. One more inhale here. And exhale. And create movements again into that top arm, your left arm. Maybe guide it next to you for a moment. Exploring any sensations over that side. And then gently rise up. Maybe just stay here for a moment. Or finding any soft movements for you to let the energy flow again. Perhaps some soft, gentle shoulder rolls. Maybe you look from right to left. Or gaze to the earth and to the sky. As you allow the sensations to be present. And then find the other side. So this time, if you bring two somewhat 90-degree angles into the legs again, you bring the bolster in front of the left leg. Perhaps one bolster for your head. And a prop to support this time your right knee. Come to lay down. Support here your chest. Support your head. Let your left arm lay down freely. And guide your right arm overhead. Finding the length over the right side this time. Your right armpit. And arrive in this pose with your body, with your breath. Arrive into softness. Can you maintain calm even when there is some discomfort? Can you keep your focus on your breath? Can you welcome the confrontation instead of running away or pushing it away? And very gently find one cycle of your breath more here. And take your time to ease out. Maybe first your right arm back, close to your upper body. Already notice any subtle changes. Before you use that right hand to bring yourself back up. You decide whether there are some movements or some stillness to integrate this pose. Follow your intuition, your authentic impulse. Find one more breath wherever you are. And then find yourself back up if you were laying down. Let's find a pose where we focus on opening the front of the shoulder and the front of the arms with reclined butterfly. I already bring my bolster on the length at the front and I come to sit behind it. And for this reclined butterfly, the focus is really onto the arms. So you have the option to guide the soles of the feet onto the floor, to lengthen the legs, or maybe even use something underneath your knees. Or of course, for the reclined butterfly, you guide the knees open towards this side and bring the soles of the feet onto the floor. I will choose today for this option. And then recline yourself over the prop, maybe the longer bolster, and open up your arms out wide. Really allow that stretch here at the front of your shoulders. You can either cactus shape your arms or guide them all the way towards the sides. And arrive again into the shape. Maybe you can really feel and notice the breath here as we have elevated the chest. There's so much space for the lungs. to breathe. So notice the rising and falling of your chest. And arrive into softness again. And harvest all that pops up. All physical sensations. All thoughts, all emotions. Welcome them in here in this moment of your practice. And breathe one more time fully in and completely out. Gently start to move your fingertips and guide your arms close to your body again. Allow yourself to roll over towards one side, removing that bolster away from the spine. An option to come back onto your spine or stay on your favorite side, exploring the echoes of the pose around the shoulders and the chest. Perhaps any pulsation or tingling sensation. to allow that energy to flow freely again in the lung meridian here. And the tissue that we stretch to be healthy, lubricated, juicy again. And come to lay down onto your belly. And come onto the elbows, and we're not going to stay here into this Sphinx pose. What we will do is crushed wing to find a stretch over the back of the shoulders again. So lift yourself a tiny bit up onto your left hand and then guide the right arm under. Guide it through, and then as much as you can, guide the right shoulder, the right arm, the left chest, all the way down onto the mat again. So you start to feel the stretch over the outer right shoulder. You can bring your forehead onto the floor. You can bring one cheek down, maybe onto a prop. And the more you allow your left side to be heavy, the more you start to explore that stretch over the right side. Your left arm again can go all the way forward or maybe towards the side as well. The muscles in your legs tend to start to work here. So focus on the body. Focus on the muscles. Can you soften? And if you can't, that is a beautiful answer too. Then help yourself out of the pose. Help yourself to come in a little bit more gently. Allow your body to feel safe and arrive into a pose where it can soften. Feel the belly softly breathing against your mat. And then find one more round of your breath here. And guide the left hand underneath your left shoulder and slowly push yourself back up. Maybe to lay down onto your belly fully, the arms alongside your body. Few breaths to notice the sensations around the right side before we go towards the left. Come into the Sphinx pose again. And this time your right hand is on the floor. Elevate yourself and then bring your left arm under. And again, the more you allow your right side to go onto the mat, the more you will feel the stretch over the left shoulder, the back of the left shoulder. I'll have my arm a little bit lower for the mic. And again, you decide how your right arm supports you in this pose. And let the breath support you to soften. One more slow breath in and out. Right hand under your right shoulder. Lift yourself up. And again, maybe some movement. Maybe laying down full onto your belly with your arms alongside your body, wiggling your hips. And your next pose is a pose to integrate the whole practice. Your next pose will be Shavasana. And you decide, maybe you'd like to stay onto your belly. Feel free to stay there. Or to turn around onto your spine, or to lay onto your favorite side, using all the props for you to support yourself. And make sure you find a pose where you can effortlessly rest so that there is no stretch or edge anymore. Take a few conscious breaths as you arrive in your Shavasana. Using every exhale to let go and to soften. And maybe you exhale fully out of the mouth for a few rounds. And then let the breath become effortless too. And find a moment of complete rest here. Metal is the element of letting go. Letting go like trees let go leaves in autumn. And to use all that as soil to grow and to bloom, to learn. Letting go what you don't need now anymore. Very gently start to notice the rising and falling of your breath again. Start to notice your body onto the mat. And explore movements again, starting small. And wake up the body with your breath, with some movements. And perhaps you like to extend your arms overhead, stretch it out, deep breath in. And as you exhale, soften to guide the knees towards your chest. Find your favorite side to rest on. Few breaths there. And help yourself back up into a seated position. And as you arrive on your seat, notice the awareness you build, the awareness of your breath, the awareness of your body with all stretches and sensations, perhaps confrontations you allowed yourself in this practice today. And to honor that, to seal that, to thank that, unite your hands in front of your heart, bow your head down. To thank a more vital, healthy body and a heart filled with openness and connection. Thank you for practicing with me. From my heart to yours. Namaste.